Welcome to this video, where we'll be talking about 3 of the most famous murderers in modern history. These criminals committed crimes that were horrific and complex, and left behind a great deal of destruction. Between 1967 and 1987, a sinister shadow loomed over the quaint town of Gloucester, England, as Fred West and his wife Rose embarked on a reign of terror that would forever stain the annals of British criminal history. Under the cloak of normalcy, the couple harbored a depraved secret, transforming their unassuming home into a chamber of horrors where the lives of innocent young women and girls were extinguished with chilling brutality. Fred West, a man of imposing stature and menacing demeanor, was the embodiment of evil, his twisted desires fueled by a sadistic thirst for power and control. Rose, his seemingly meek and submissive partner, was no mere accomplice. She was an active participant in their heinous crimes, her own dark desires intertwining with those of her husband. Their victims, ranging in age from 15 to 26, were lured into their web of deception, their youthful naivety exploited by the couple's manipulative charm. Once ensnared, these unfortunate souls were subjected to unspeakable horrors, their bodies and minds ravaged by the West's relentless torture and abuse. The true extent of their atrocities remained concealed for years, the quaint suburban facade of their lives masking the darkness that festered within. But the walls of their home, once a silent witness to their crimes, would eventually yield their secrets, revealing the chilling truth that lay hidden beneath. In 1994, the long arm of justice finally reached the Wests, as police obtained a search warrant and descended upon their seemingly ordinary residence. What they uncovered sent shockwaves through the community: scattered human bones, buried haphazardly within the garden and beneath the floorboards of the house, each fragment a stark reminder of the lives they had extinguished. Fred West, the mastermind behind their monstrous reign of terror, would never face the full weight of his crimes. On the eve of his conviction, he took his own life, hanging himself in his prison cell, leaving behind a legacy of unspeakable evil. Rose West, however, was brought to justice, found guilty of 10 counts of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment, her fate sealed within the confines of a high-security prison. The trial exposed the depths of her depravity, revealing her active role in the torture and murder of their victims, shattering any illusion of innocence that may have lingered. The Fred and Rose West case remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human psyche, a stark testament to the depths of depravity to which individuals can descend. Their crimes, etched into the annals of British criminal history, serve as a sobering reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of vigilance in the face of evil. In the annals of American crime, few names evoke as much chilling horror as that of Jeffrey Dahmer, the Milwaukee cannibal. Dahmer's macabre reign of terror spanned over a decade, leaving a trail of unspeakable atrocities and a legacy of profound societal unease. His crimes were not merely acts of violence, they were the embodiment of depravity, a twisted manifestation of a deeply disturbed mind. Born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in 1960, Dahmer exhibited early signs of abnormality. His fascination with death and animal carcasses foreshadowed the horrors to come. As he entered adolescence, his morbid tendencies intensified, and he began to harbor sadistic fantasies. In 1978, at the tender age of 18, Dahmer committed his first murder, a crime that marked the beginning of his descent into madness. Dahmer's modus operandi was as chilling as it was methodical. He would lure unsuspecting young men to his apartment, often hitchhikers or those seeking companionship. Once in his grasp, he would incapacitate them with drugs or alcohol, before subjecting them to a nightmarish ordeal of torture, rape, and murder. Dahmer's victims were not mere statistics, they were individuals with dreams, aspirations, and families who mourned their loss. Each life extinguished was a testament to the depths of human depravity, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human psyche. The Milwaukee cannibal's macabre fascination extended beyond murder. He engaged in necrophilia with his victims, a practice that further underscored his descent into madness. He also dismembered and cooked parts of their bodies, consuming the flesh in a grotesque act of cannibalism. Dahmer's reign of terror finally came to an end in 1991 when a would-be victim, Tracy Edwards, managed to escape his clutches and alert police. The subsequent investigation led to the discovery of a house of horrors, a grim testament to Dahmer's depravity. In 1992, Dahmer was convicted of 15 of the murders and sentenced to 15 terms of life in prison. Yet, his life was cut short just 2 years later when he was beaten to death by a fellow inmate at the Columbia Correctional Institution. Dahmer's legacy is one of horror and revulsion, a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity. His crimes serve as a chilling cautionary tale, a testament to the importance of vigilance and the need to confront the darkness that can reside within us all. Known as the Genesee River Killer, Arthur Shawcross gained notoriety for his heinous crimes. The first known murder attributed to him occurred in 1972. Shawcross lured a 10-year-old boy into a secluded wooded area in Watertown, New York. There, he sexually assaulted and murdered the young boy, leaving the community in shock and fear. Following this horrific act, Shawcross's depravity continued as he targeted another innocent victim. This time, it was an 8-year-old girl. He subjected her to the same brutal fate, sexually assaulting and ultimately ending her life. Authorities managed to apprehend Shawcross for this crime, and he was convicted of manslaughter. Sentenced to 14 years in prison, Shawcross served his time but was released in 1988, much to the outrage and concern of the public. Little did they know that his release marked the beginning of a terrifying spree of violence. With a newfound freedom, Shawcross embarked on a ruthless killing spree, targeting vulnerable women working as prostitutes. Between the ages of 22 and 59, his victims were brutally assaulted, raped, and murdered. The details of these crimes are too disturbing to recount, as Shawcross demonstrated a complete disregard for human life. The community lived in constant fear, as Shawcross managed to evade capture for a significant period of time. However, his reign of terror eventually came to an end when he was caught at the scene of his last murder. Unable to escape the mounting evidence against him, Shawcross finally confessed to all 12 murders he had committed. In court, the full extent of Shawcross's monstrous actions was laid bare. The judge sentenced him to 250 years in prison, ensuring that he would never harm another soul. Shawcross spent the remaining years of his life behind bars, reflecting on the unimaginable pain and suffering he had inflicted upon his victims and their families. In 2008, Shawcross met his demise in prison, succumbing to a cardiac arrest. While his physical presence may have ended, the scars he left on the lives of his victims and the community will forever serve as a haunting reminder of the evil that can lurk within our society. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to support us so we can continue to publish more exciting content.